Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of A Gardener's Journey Homestead. I'm Barbara and today I'm in the kitchen and we have quite a bit of prep to do. Getting some stuff ready for the freezer from all of the harvest. This is just a small taste of the peppers. So I'm gonna focus on peppers today and I'm gonna show you a couple of different ways that I freeze my peppers. And I'm going to show you a new thing that I'm doing this year. I'm actually doing a chili starter mix. So I'm mixing a couple of different things in with the peppers and freezing it all together so that when I get ready to make a big, nice pot of chili for the winter, when it gets cold, all I got to do is pull out the bag and all the peppers and all the other stuff is already diced. And then we'll just dice some peppers as is to kind of have on hand. So we're going to do it two different ways. And I thought I'd bring you along and show you how to do it and show you this way, especially if you eat chili, soups, things like that, that you know you put the same ingredients in all the time. So let's go and let's get started. Okay, you saw I was washing and cleaning my peppers. And so for this particular day, I have some red peppers, and then the majority of the peppers I have are green peppers. So we're gonna start with the red peppers, and on the red peppers, I'm just gonna slice those in strips because that's how I use them most often. And then I'm gonna use the green peppers for the chili starter mix. Now y'all know I'm not a big fan of green peppers, but the green peppers are coming in and I know they won't have enough time to ripen and turn red. Or orange or yellow, whatever color they're supposed to be before the frost comes, because I didn't plant any green peppers. I only plant red, yellow, orange. That's what I always do. So the green peppers, because I don't care for them anyway, just like in dishes, I can put them in chili and it won't make a difference versus like fajitas or something else that I normally would use the red or the yellow peppers for. So for the red peppers, I'm gonna cut these in strips. I have my cutting board. And for this, I'm going to use my Chop Wizard. I love this. There's a video that I did early on when I first got on YouTube about tools to have on your journey, and that is in there. And so if you didn't see that video, I'll pop it up here. But I'm going to use this instead of my food processor because I've been doing some peppers earlier this season. And the ones that I did in the food processor, to me, they get too mushy and the water comes out. It's not as distinct pieces. And so I prefer it this way. So I'm gonna, take the head off and core it. And then I will be saving these seeds on the red one. I'll do a separate video on saving seeds and all of that good stuff. But for today, you'll see I just took and cored it. And then, and you know what? I don't need this for the red peppers because I'm going to do them in strips. But for the chili mix, we are going to dice them. So I'm just going to do these in strips / rings. So I'm doing these in it's not perfect strips, but just strips of how I would normally use it. And so I use this like when we're making nachos, or something like a fajita or something like that. What else? If I'm using them in like spaghetti or lasagna, then usually they may be a little bit more finely diced, but these specifically I'm making a little bit bigger based on how I'm going to use them. So again, depending on how you and your family uses the peppers, then you can do it and cut it however you want. Now, today I'm using, excuse me, freezer bags that are snack size bags. And I'm gonna do them like in individual portions. I didn't do this last year, but I'm doing it this year. And the reason is that I could just do all of these peppers and put them in just one bag. I could do that, and I have done that before. But what happens is I'm very rarely going to use a whole gallon bag of peppers at one time. And so I have to open the bag, take some out, reseal the bag, put it back in the freezer. And this way, if I just do it individually, then I can just take one whole bag, dump it in whatever recipe that I'm using. And to me, that works out a lot better for what I'm going to use this for. So for example, I have about this many here. This is probably how many I would normally put like in a dish when I'm making like fajita meat or nacho, you know, grilled onions and some kind of protein or something like that. You see that there? And so you just got one little nice individual snack size bag. I just stack these in my freezer, and what I've been doing, because I've done this several times, I just get a whole bunch of these and I put them in 1 gallon bag, and then I can just label the gallon bag, and then I can just pull out an individual bag as I need it. So I'm just gonna keep doing that with the red peppers, and we'll see how many bags we get. Okay, that's all done, and we ended up getting, I think, 7 bags. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's pretty good. I think we had, I don't know, 7 or 8. So it's pretty much 1 pepper per individual bag. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna put them in a gallon bag, and I'll label that bag. Okay, so I have a gallon bag that I just labeled red bell pepper strips, and I will put these bags in here. So they're all in there together. And that's one project done. Okay guys, so I'm back. And so we're gonna make what I'm calling like a chili starter mix. And so what I'm doing, let me show you. You can see what I have. So I have onions, I have jalapenos, I have cloves of garlic that I've already peeled, and I have my bell peppers. You can use whatever you use for your chili, but in chili, these are the things that I'm using or I'm gonna try. I haven't normally put jalapeno in my chili, and that's because I didn't have it before. You know, I started gardening, I wasn't gonna go and buy it. It wasn't like a staple thing, but now that I have it, I'm gonna try it. So basically, I'm gonna chop and dice all of these vegetables. And for this, I am gonna use the food processor because it's gonna go in chili. And so the fact that it may all blend together, stick together, get soft and more moist than we did with the strips, that's completely fine because it's gonna go in chili and it's gonna be all kind of blended in together. So again, you use and chop your vegetables getting ready for the freezer. Think about how you're gonna use it and what you want the end product to be like, and then that's how you can choose on which way you want to chop, freeze, what size, and all that stuff. So this is a chili starter mix. So basically I'm gonna dice, chop all of these vegetables and mix them all together and put them in Ziploc bags. So for this, I'm using like some sandwich size bags, and I'll probably, you know, fill it up most of the way. And because these bags didn't come with like where you can mark the label, I just made me a label, and that just says chili mix OJGP, onions, jalapeno, garlic, peppers. So that way I know what's in the mix. So just make sure that you label whatever you put in it. Some people put celery, some people use red bell peppers, yellow bell peppers. So just think about whatever you normally put in your chili. And this is a great way to go ahead, if you have stuff coming in from your garden, to freeze it, prepare it. And so that when it's time to make the chili in the winter, all you got to do is go get your bag out of the freezer of all your veggies already chopped up and add it in, and add your beans, your meat, and whatever else. And it's going to save you some time. So one of the things as the summer is going on and coming to an end, it's now time to preserve all the harvest that we have been yielding. So the first thing I'm going to do, and you can see I've already washed all my onions. So I've kind of prepped. I've washed my onions. I've peeled the garlic. I have the jalapenos. And so now I'm just going to core my bell peppers, as you can see, like that. We're going to do that, and then we're going to put everything in the food processor, and we'll be done. Okay, so we have all the bell peppers cored, ready to go. So now it's nothing to it but to get it chopped up, and we're going to let the food processor do the work. So I'm going to start with my bell peppers first. And the reason why is because obviously I have more bell peppers, and that's kind of, when I say the base, I'm not necessarily doing equal parts, but kind of, sort of. So I want to see how many bell peppers I have first, and then I'll do the onions and the garlic, and then just mix that in between. And even though I said this is a chili starter mix, you really think about how many times you put peppers, onions, garlic, maybe the jalapeno, but peppers, onions, and garlic in several dishes. Like if you make a lasagna or spaghetti, you probably use some of those same things. So again, you can modify this for whatever works for you. And so if I wanted to make a generic mix that wasn't spicy, then I could leave out the jalapeno. And that way the mix could be more versatile. So maybe I'll do some that has a jalapeno in it and some that doesn't. We'll see how it goes. See, this is what I mean about the food processor. It's going to get it real fine and moist. And again, I did some of my veggies like that and froze them. And for chili, this is going to be fine because it's going to all blend in together. And I don't necessarily want big chunks in my chili. So that's why I said the food processor, one, is going to save us time instead of hand chopping or using that Chop Magic. This is going to be even quicker and faster. So let me get a spoon so I can dip this out. Okay, so I have 4 bags started. You can see it's about half full. So I'm going to do the garlic next, and I'm just going to split it in between the bags. And that's how I'll do for the onions as well. And then the jalapenos, we'll split that as well. I think I'm going to split the jalapenos into 3 bags, and I'll leave 1 bag that doesn't have jalapenos in case I want to use it for something different. Okay, y'all, we're done. So I ended up using 1 onion. Those onions were pretty big. So this is the one that I had already washed, and the one I used was bigger than that. So that put about this much onion in there. Of course, I could always add more, but of course it was making me cry. So I had to move through that pretty quickly. It was a strong onion. So I only ended up using 1, excuse me, 1 onion instead of 3 jalapenos. I wimped out and only diced up 2, but I only, I think, put the equivalent of 1 amongst all, excuse me, 3 bags. Because remember, I'm going to keep a bag without jalapenos. And now that I think about it, I think I put jalapeno in all of those. I don't remember stopping and not putting jalapeno. So I'm just going to label it as such. For some reason it doesn't have it in there, then just fine. But I kept this much jalapeno because I was thinking if it's too hot, like I like spicy, but jalapeno is probably the highest I'm gonna go, except maybe a little bit of habanero. So if I make it too spicy, then to me that's gonna ruin my whole dish. And so I figure if I use the equivalent of one among these 3, then it won't be that spicy. I can always add more spice with my jalapeno salt or something like that. But since it's my first time doing it, I decided to take it a little easy and just use, I only diced 2, but you can see I have this much left. So that's probably the equivalent of 1 among, I think, 4 bags instead of 3. So we got 4 bags of chili starter mix ready for the freezer, ready to go. And then we got 7 bags of the diced red bell peppers. So this is gonna make wintertime easy because we already have our veggies diced up, prepped in the freezer, ready to go. So I definitely encourage you, if you still have your produce coming in from the garden, depending on what zone you're in, excuse me, something went down my throat. I think it's the pepper spice. if you still have produce coming in, your onions and all of that stuff, then make sure that you go ahead and dice it up for the freezer. You may say you don't feel like it, but I'm telling you, if you do it now, you'll save time later. So when it's all nice and cold outside and you're cozy on the inside and you want to do your soup, your chili, your lasagna, whatever, you don't have to dice and prep. It's already ready to go. This is so convenient. And the other thing that I love about what we did today is that everything was homegrown except the onions. You know, my yellow onions didn't do as well this year, so those are from Azure Standard. But everything else, the jalapenos, all the peppers, all the garlic, homegrown. So that makes me so, so happy. So thank you guys. I hope that this was helpful. Let me know if you've done this before, or if you're planning on trying it to kind of get prepped for the winter, for your winter dishes. I think it's a great way to prep your peppers and get them ready for something yummy in the winter. If you like what you're seeing and you're new to my channel, I would love for you to give this a like, thumbs up, or subscribe, and subscribe. I'll pop a couple of more videos up here for you to watch between now and the next upload. And remember, gardening is a journey. Let's grow together. See you next time.